Master these 4 zones as an awakening entrepreneur, and you will 10x your income, influence, and impact this year. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Age Entrepreneurship Show, where we are the Golden Age entrepreneurs choosing a new type of entrepreneurship, the New Earth Entrepreneur Pathway, where we're here to lead with our hearts, our gifts, and our service to awakening our brothers and sisters through our transformative offers. And in that process, creating beautiful financial sovereignty, time freedom, and enjoying our business, being joyous states. That is what we are doing here every single day on this podcast. So I am Spence, your soul brother, your business coach, the no BS business coach for New Earth visionaries, founder of New Earth Business Coaching, talking with you today about honestly something that I do with every single high level client who comes into New Earth Business Coaching. This is part of the onboarding process, and it's so essential that I'm going to share it with you. This is a tool that is going to absolutely allow you to create time freedom, because the biggest thing I see with entrepreneurs out there who are awakening, who are conscious, serving with their online businesses or products, maybe making 10, 20, 30K reoccurring months, maybe 50K reoccurring months. And this is the biggest block that stops people from going to 100K months. And that is that they don't actually have time freedom. And this is something that I work on, and I'm very intentional with my business and all my clients' businesses, because I know you're a multidimensional creator. You're earth schooling your kids, you're gardening, you're looking for land or developing land, you're traveling the world, you're going to retreats, spiritual practices, going deeper with your partner, raising your kids, having animals, all these great things. So if you have a business where you spend time in the first 3 of these zones all the time, it's just not going to grow as fast. It's not going to go parabolic in terms of income, impact, and influence. And it's going to contract you slightly. A lot of you out there, you write into me, and it's the same things. It's the subtle frustration. The why isn't this working faster? The feeling of being plateaued. The idea of like, my business is getting really complex, and I want simplicity. I have all these other things going on. I need simplicity, scalability, sustainability, and building the mechanisms, the bottom foundations for that to flourish, because you don't want to spend a lot of time in your business. I love helping entrepreneurs who are in their genius, bringing forth their gifts, create businesses that are 10 or 20 hours a week, because you got a lot of stuff going on. Some of my clients who are pretty ruthless around taking back their time freedom, where they're building towards an hour a day business. Remember, that doesn't happen overnight. You need to engineer systems. You need to make sure that you listen to the end of this podcast when we talk about the 4th zone. But you can engineer your business and architect it however you want. When you come into New Earth Business Coaching, we apply this tool I'm going to share with you and just continually simplify to amplify. The more simple your business is, the more intentionally it is designed for scalability, sustainability. You're going to feel great. We know this is a universal time matrix. So we're using universal law. We're coming to align with the law of frequency, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of simplicity. And this is how soulmate clients come in. This is how your offers sell out. This is how your products sell out. This is how your shop sells out. We have to know these 4 zones, and then we have to actually have the leadership and the discipline and the commitment and the devotion to reflect on these zones continually and make adjustments until we are spending time in zone 4, which is the zone of genius, the zone of genius. Now, these 4 zones are talked about by many different people, and I just really think it's a great model. There is zone 1, the zone of incompetence, meaning you're not really good at it and you don't actually like doing it. Then number 2, the zone of competence. You don't like doing it, but you can get it done. This is kind of how I feel with websites and tying back-end systems together. I'm great at helping other people architect and tie it together, but do I want to spend 8 hours a day working on back-end systems and stuff? No, like I can absolutely do it. I can follow tutorials. I can watch YouTube videos. I'm intuitive. I've been doing this stuff since I built my first website in grade 5 on GeoCities, if any of you remember that. It was actually pretty robust platform for the time. And, another one was a tripod. That was a good one. I had a big tripod site. So needless to say, I've been doing this for a while. I'm competent at it. Zone of competence. Now, then the third zone, this is the zone that when you come to New Earth Business Coaching, I see so many of you spending all your time in this zone. And it's not that it's a bad thing. This isn't right or wrong. It's just that when you spend time in the third zone, the zone of brilliance, you can get trapped. I saw this a lot when I worked in the corporate world, and when people come to me, perhaps from corporate, when CEOs come to me who are architecting their plans to leave and bring forth their medicine with businesses and coaching and all of this stuff. When they come to me, I see this a lot, and that is the zone of brilliance. This is where you're freaking good at what you do. You show up, you rock it. Things happen, you can get stuff done, but you have moments of frustration. You have moments of this is only 80% of the way. You only feel 80% of your joy. Time might disappear, but it's not the same as a flow state where you're in that true, expansive, transcendent joy. That's what you get when you spend your time in zone for the zone of genius. The zone of genius is where time melts away. You're in states of joy. Things come completely naturally. Ideas flow. You're connected to your higher self. You love your business. It doesn't take up all of your time. You're creating $1 million movement. You absolutely love the people coming in, and everything feels awesome. It's not to say that sometimes obstacles don't come up, but you're in such a state of joy and you're an actual CEO that you can problem solve and mastermind and come up with the solution very quickly because you are in your zone of genius. Now, most people get stuck in the zone of brilliance. What does the zone of brilliance look like for online entrepreneurs? It means being plateaued. If you build a $20,000, $50,000 reoccurring month revenue, heck, even $5,000 or $10,000 month reoccurring revenue as an online entrepreneur, that's actually really good in today's age. So don't wrong yourself. That's actually really good. 99.9% of entrepreneurs who come in the online space cannot create sustainable $5,000 months. So if you're doing 10, 20, like awesome, kudos to you. You've really got something there and showing that you're a very innovative person, but you end up in that zone of brilliance where you aren't loving it is what it comes down to. You're not loving it. Maybe forward facing on social media, you're brilliant, you're serving your clients, you're having amazing results, but behind the scenes, when you're really looking at your business, you're like, I want to bring more of me. I know there's more of me to give. I'm not fully open. I'm not fully in my truth. I'm not fully claiming who I am. Example of this was before I developed New Earth Business Coaching. I was business coaching in a lot of different ways, and I've had success with men's programs. I've written spiritual books that have developed, built different movements and followings. I'm a multidimensional creator, no doubt. I love to try things, but a lot of them were zone of brilliance. Clients got amazing results, but when I really tapped into what is so easy and expansive and bring joys, it always comes back to serving entrepreneurs to scale their movement and mission with ease and flow. And I've been doing that for 15 years after graduating business school. It comes naturally. Time disappears. I can do 7 podcasts if I wanted to batch them in a row, like I did a few days ago, where I just sat down and did 3 or 4 hours of podcasting. I didn't even think about it. If you go back to the last week of podcasts here on this show, those were all batched by sitting down. Sometimes I record every day, but it's my zone of genius. I love it. I'm good at it. And I built my business and all my social funnels around the podcast. You don't need 15 different types of funnels and podcasts and stuff when you're zone of genius. So when you're in the zone of genius, divine energy just transfers through you. Remember, Nikola Tesla said it right. You want to know the secret to the universe? Frequency, vibration, energy, sound, light. Just play with those. And when you actually play with those, you're in your zone of genius, boom. This divine energy flows through you, your higher self, some term it. Some call it source, some call it God, some call it the Holy Spirit, some call it the Great Mystery, some call it whatever. Doesn't matter. It's the same energy of pure joy, pure bliss consciousness flowing through you. That's what's possible in the zone of genius. What happens when you spend more time in the zone of genius? Well, once you've gone through the process of architecting back-end systems, building your team, clarifying who you're speaking to, building a vertical offer stack, all of which can happen very, very quickly when you come to New Earth Business Coaching, then you're just flourishing on top of that with that energy wide open, more clients easefully, the right kind of clients, soulmate clients, people signing up for your movement, sharing referrals, testimonials, joining all your programs, inviting people into your programs. It's just a natural byproduct. more sponsorship opportunities, more videos going viral, more content converting, more products selling, more people saying, take my money, pay in fulls. All of these things that we love as entrepreneurs flow much more easily. And that's all because of the zone of competence. But again, the zone of brilliance is where where golden age entrepreneurs go to die, really. And I'm not saying that isn't like some crazy, like, oh, you ruined your life if you're not all the time in your zone of genius. No, no, no. But the golden age entrepreneur is committed to the zone of genius and committed to architecting and figuring out the back end systems and building a business that supports you spending more and more linear time in your zone of genius. Because I always ask, why not? Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? You have a level of consciousness, you're awakening, you know that you're here to create new earth, you know that this is an illusion. Ultimately, you're piercing the veil, you see the dystopian and stuff in the world, and you're not gonna have it. That's not why you're here. You're here to be in your zone of genius, to bring forth all of your gifts, to fully speak your truth without fear, and to stand for your brothers and sisters during this huge awakening process. That is ultimately what a golden age entrepreneur is all about. So that is why I really encourage you to make a list over the next week of all of the tasks you do in your business. So if you check email, if you have a client call, just write it on a running list. And then what I want you to do at the end of the week is go and right beside each one, whether this is zone of incompetence, zone of competence, zone of brilliance, zone of genius. Then what I want you to do is add up all the tasks. So you have a number, maybe it was 100 tasks. And I want you to make a little chart and put how many were in the zone of incompetence. So let's say 40. How many were in the zone of competence? Let's say 50. How many were in the zone of brilliance? Let's say 7. How many were in the zone of genius? 3. Whatever it may be. And then you'll have percentages of amount in each zone. And then what you do is you just work and you adapt. And if you want to come work with New Earth Business Coaching, I can help you accelerate this so that you're spending more and more time in the zone of brilliance and the zone of genius. You always want to get rid of incompetence and competence pretty quickly. Automate, delegate, delete, get a process for that. And then the brilliance, we start adjusting, we start taking your time back, but putting more in the zone of genius. And we want to see the zone of genius up to 80% plus. That's the metric of one of the metrics of where I really feel that if someone is spending 80% of their time as a conscious awakening entrepreneur, fully in their zone of genius, gifts flourishing, creative potential flourishing, time, true flow states happening, then wow, this is awesome. And then it's minor tweaks from there. But until you're in that 80%, there is a little bit of adjusting and working and commitment and devotion, but the reward of that and the journey of that and the practice of that is absolutely fantastic. So your homework is to do that audit. 7 days, track those zones, and then see what percentage is in each one. Automate, delegate, delete the competent and incompetent. It's a lot easier with AI to automate the zones of incompetence and incompetence and the new cutting edge technology and VAs and stuff. So that's super easy if you do it right. And then the brilliance is where it can be a little more challenging. You're going to have to call yourself forward as a leader to be ruthless and say, is this brilliance or is this genius? And if it's brilliance, okay, great. That's fine. Let's keep it if necessary. But at some point, the first two zones are gone. And then it's just between the zone of brilliance and the zone of genius. And to get to that 80%, if you're down to 2 categories, you're going to have to give up the brilliance for the genius. And this can take time. You might have to reflect. You might have to go meditation. You might have to take a rite of passage. You're going to have to potentially do a few different things in order to spend more time in that zone of genius. So that's your thought for the day. That's your tool. This is the New Earth Entrepreneurship Show, 365. I'm bringing you consciousness, leadership, and new earth business strategies and tips to help you awaken $1 million movement, scale with recurring income, and love your business full of joy, ease, and flow. All of the ways to work with me are on my website, which you will find at www.newearthbusiness. I always mess that up. All right, I'm going to rewind that. Rewind it. newearth.business, www.newearth.business. I upgraded, so it's not .com, it's .business. All the ones are in the show notes. If you want to work together, reach out to me about my high proximity containers. This is where we'll take your established business and we'll create it into $1 million movement full of recurring income that allows you to spend more time in your genius, express your full gifts and truth, and lead humanity boldly into the new Earth timeline. You know who you are. If this is you, reach out to me. And if you're an awakening female entrepreneur, send me a message or check out my website about our Bold Moves, Big Changes Club for awakening female entrepreneurs that I co-create and I run the back-end systems for. As the CEO of my wife's firm, Soulmate Strategy, Jenna would love to welcome all awakening female entrepreneurs in there. And I do provide support as well. So you'll find that all in the show notes. And as always, aho, namaste, all my relations. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share. Have a great rest of your day.